Hello, folks. Today I'm going to talk about the fights that's happening this weekend in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm going to give you my opinion about all these fights that's happening there. The fights are being promoted by Turkey Al-Sheet with association with Matchroom and Queensberry Promotion. On the first fight, you have Joshua Buatsi, a UK fighter with a 19-0 record and 13 KOs. He's been a pro for 8 years. He has a 74-inch reach, and he has 111 rounds of fighting. He's an Olympic bronze medalist at the 2016 Games. He's fighting ex-168-pound champion, WBA champion, Callum Smith, with a 30-2 record and 22 KOs. Callum Smith's been a pro for 13 years with 164 rounds of fighting, and he has a 78-inch reach. He has a long reach. They're fighting at light heavyweight. Callum Smith is 34 years old. He lost to Saul Canelo Alvarez on a decision, and he also lost on a 7-round stoppage to Artur Beterbiev. This should be a real good fight between two UK fighters. But I believe that Joshua Buatsi should win this fight by a hard, close decision. In order for Buatsi to win, he has to be aggressive. He has to take it to Callum Smith and pound on that body. He has to get underneath Callum Smith's jab in order for him to get the victory. In order for Callum Smith to win, he has to jab and move around and keep Buatsi at bay. Do not let him get close. Counterpunch him all night. But I am leaning towards Buatsi to win on a hard decision and a hard fight. Buatsi has been pro for about 8 years. He only has 19 fights. He should have had at least 26, 27, 28 fights. So he has to be more active in order to compete. But he's a very good fighter, and he should be able to beat Callum Smith by decision. I'm going to give you the second fight that's coming up, and that is between Agit Kabayel and Zhang from China. On the second fight, you have Agit Kabayel, the WBC #1 ranked contender with a 25-0 record and 17 KOs. He's been fighting pro for about 14 years. He has 125 rounds of fighting, and he has an 80-inch reach. And he's fighting Zhang, a 6'6", 250+ pound heavyweight, originally from China, a 2008 silver medalist with a record of 27 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, and 22 KOs. On his 2 losses, he lost to Vergil, and he also lost to Joseph Parker on a decision. On his draw, he drew with Jerry Forrest, some time back. This is a very dangerous fight for each fighter. The winner gets a title fight. Zhang is a heavy hitter. He's 41 years old, and he's also a southpaw. And he's been on a roll lately. He beat Deontay Wilder by a knockout, and he lost a decision to Joseph Parker, but he also put a beating on Joseph Parker. And Agit Kabayel is undefeated. Pretty decent fighter. He moves around. He's always the underdog. He's been fighting for a long time. And he's out of Germany. And this should be a real good fight. This is a pick'em fight. Zhang should beat Agit Kabayel by either a late round stoppage or a decision. In order for Agit Kabayel to win, he has to move around. He can't stand in front of Zhang. Counterpunch him, move around, do not let him get near him. This is a real close fight. It's a pick 'em fight. I believe Zhang is going to win this fight either by a late round knockout or decision. Now I'm going to give you the third fight. On the next fight, you have Vergil Ortiz Jr. from the USA, a 26-year-old, 5'11" fighter. He's been a pro for about 9 years. His record is 22-0 with 21 knockouts, with a 74-inch reach. And he's fighting his ex-sparring partner, Israil Madrimov, the ex-champion that lost to Terence Crawford Jr. His previous fight. Madrimov's 30 years old, 5'8", with a 68-inch reach. He's been fighting pro for 7 years. And his record is 10-1-1 with 7 KOs. That's a very good fight right there. That's a very close fight. A few videos back, I had picked Madrimov to win. This time, I'm taking Vergil Ortiz Jr. to win this fight. I think when the bell rings, Vergil Ortiz Jr. is going to jump all over Madrimov and try to make it a dogfight, a slugfest. Madrimov is going to try to move around and give him angles, just like he gave Terence Crawford angles. In order for Madrimov to win, he has to counterpunch him and move. Do not stay as a target. In order for Vergil Ortiz to win this fight, he has to make it a dogfight. He has to get dirty in there and try to make it a slugfest. He's going to try to make it a dogfight right there. Try to keep him in the ropes, pound on him, and don't give him no space and no angle. But I am leaning right now towards Vergil Ortiz to win a decision. It should be a very good fight. In the fourth fight, you have Carlos Adames, a 5'11", 160-pound WBC middleweight champion. He's 30 years old with a 73-inch reach. He's been fighting pro for about 10 years. His record is 24 wins and 1 loss. On his 1 loss, he lost to Patrick Sheeraz a few years back. And he's fighting UK fighter Hamzah Sheeraz, a 6'3", 25-year-old with a 75-inch reach, 160-pound fighter. Sheeraz's record is 21-0 with 17 KOs. So that's going to be a real good fight. Sheeraz's height is 6'3". Adames' height is 5'11". So it's a big 4 inches in height. This is a real good fight right here. This is a close fight. In order for Adames to win, he has to be the aggressive and take it to Hamzah Sheeraz. In order for Sheeraz to win, he has to box him and counterpunch him all night and use that jab and use that height. So this is a real close fight. It's a pick 'em fight. Either man could win. I'm not sure who's going to win this fight, but it's going to be entertaining. And if you're interested in getting the fight, you can get it to dons.com. I believe it's $26 for the pay-per-view. So you're getting a good night of entertainment for a little bit of money. Now I'm going to go to the 5th fight. On the 5th fight is The WBC lightweight champion, Shakur Stevenson from Newark, New Jersey, a 27-year-old, 5'8" fighter. He was an Olympic medalist. His record's 22-0 with 10 KOs. And he's supposed to be fighting Floyd Kid Austin Schofield, but that fight has been canceled. So now he's fighting Josh Padley from the UK with a 15-0 record and 4 KOs. So Schofield got sick and got removed from the fight, and Josh Padley took the fight. I don't give Josh Padley no chance against Shakur Stevenson. I believe Shakur Stevenson is going to beat Josh Padley real bad by a decision or knock him out. There's levels to this fight, and Josh Padley is just there as an opponent. I don't give him no chance. I think Shakur Stevenson is in the elite group. He's a good fighter. He's a good champion. And he's a professional. He handles his business the right way. So I'm taking Shakur Stevenson to beat Josh Padley very easy in this fight. But I do congratulate Josh Padley for taking the fight on 3 days' notice when Kid Schofield was not able to fight, so he was removed from the fight. So a big congratulations to Josh Padley for jumping in and taking the fight. On the 6th fight, we have Joseph Parker Jr., the ex-champ, with a 35-win, 3-loss record. Joseph Parker Jr. has been fighting pro for about 12 years, with over 250 rounds of fighting. He's 6'4", about 240 pounds, and he's supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois, the champion from the UK. Daniel Dubois, on his last fight, he knocked out Anthony Joshua. So he's supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois, but Dubois at the last minute pulled out. He was sick, so they had to remove him from the fight. So the promoters are looking for a replacement in just a few days. And they happened to get Martin Bakole from Congo, a 31-year-old, 6'6", 260-plus pound fighter at the last minute. Now, Martin Bakole and Parker Jr., that should be a real good fight there, too. When they mentioned that they got Martin Bakole as a replacement, with just a little bit of time left, everybody was jumping for joy. That's a real good fight. Martin Bakole, in his last fight, he knocked out Jared Big Baby Anderson. He destroyed him. He knocked him down at least 3 or 4 times and then knocked him out. They stopped the fight. Martin Bakole and Joseph Parker Jr., it should be a nice little slugfest. That's a real good fight. Now, a lot of people wondering if Martin Bakole was in shape because he was in Congo. But they mentioned that he's been in shape. He's been working out because he has a fight coming up. So he's been working out. So lucky the promoters were able to get Martin Bakole. That's going to be a real good fight. And I wouldn't be surprised Martin Bakole beats Joseph Parker Jr. on a knockout. Martin Bakole is no joke. He's a beast. As far as Daniel Dubois getting sick and Floyd Kid Austin Schofield getting sick, a lot of people have to understand that when you travel to another country, when you're traveling by plane to another country, 12 hours on a plane, different atmosphere, different time change, and then you have to promote the fight. You're tired, you're physically exhausted, you have to promote the fight, you have to do a lot of interviews, you're nervous about the fight, different climate, different weather, different atmosphere, the food is different, you're bound to get sick. It affects your body. Your body can only take so much. A lot of these fighters are worrying about the fight, And then you have the little extra. That's the traveling, the weather, the food. Food, you might not agree with the food. So a lot of these fighters do get sick. So when these promoters are putting these fights, they should have backup fighters just in case somebody gets sick. On this card, you have 2 fighters that got sick. You have Floyd Kid Austin Schofield and Daniel Duval. So it happens. Lucky for the promoters that they were able to get Martin Bakole. And now we got a good fight. So everything is pretty good. On the main event, you have undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev versus ex-champ Dmitry Bivol. The second fight. On the first fight, I took Artur Beterbiev to win a decision. On this second fight right now, I believe Dmitry Bivol might win because his boxing career is on the line. Doing the interview between these two great fighters, you could tell they don't like each other. They were looking at each other with so much dislike. And it's the competition in them. They want to put a good fight. For these two fighters, it's not about the money. It's about the legacy. It's about, I beat you or you beat me. So these two fighters are fighting for legacy. They don't want to shake hands, and the intense stare down is going to make this a good fight. And I believe it's going to be a close fight. Dmitry Bivol, he's saying he trains like crazy for this fight. He's ready to fight. He made some mistakes in the first fight, and he fixed those mistakes. And of course, Artur Beterbiev, the undisputed champ, he's analyzing everything too. And that's going to be a real good fight. If for some reason Dmitry Bivol wins the second fight, then they're going to have a third fight. And the third fight is to break the tiebreaker. These two are the ultimate professionals. The intense in this fight is right there. Everybody's going to be watching this fight. It's a very good fight. Evenly matched. Both 6 feet. Both weighing 175 pounds. Similar record. Artur Beterbiev, I think, is 22-0 with 21 knockouts. Dmitry Bivol is 24-1 with like 12 knockouts. Dmitry Bivol has over 200 rounds of fighting. He's been a pro for over 10 years. Artur Beterbiev is the same thing. Pro for about 10 years, 10 plus years. And he also has over 100 rounds of fighting. And between these two fighters, they have an extensive amateur record where they won almost all their fights. So everything's on the line for this fight. It's a real good fight. It's a pick-em fight. I won't be surprised Dmitry Bivol beat him this time. And then they'll have the trilogy. Let me know what you think about all these fights. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Give me your opinion. Will you pick him to win? If you are interested in watching the fight, get it to dance.com on the pay-per-view. And I believe it's $26. So you're going to get entertainment for very cheap, $26 for all this fight. They also have a few prospects on the undercard showcasing their talent. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.